For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Camping and Leisure with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a review on the Kampa Ace Air. So it's a model that carries over from the 2016 season into the 2017 season with a few feature tweaks. So it comes in three different sizes. So you've got a 300, 400 and 500. That basically refers to the length that it sits on the rail. So that's actually the main body of the tent, not actually the little sun wings. So it's a really strong model. In fact, it was actually European's best-selling awning of the 2016 season, and you can clearly see why. You know, beautiful panoramic fronts with big, nice windows, sky windows as well. Ability to put loads of extras on, sort of annexes and sun wings and things like that. So it's a hell of a lot of awning, and certainly for the UK market, it's one that went out of stock during the 2016 season for a few months. So it's really quite hard to beat. There are some alterations in the Kampa range of the 2017 season, but this I still feel is probably going to be one of their best-selling awnings that they do. So going on to the actual Ace, it's actually a one-point inflation that pumps up the whole part. So the purpose of this is you've got a single inflation point but several deflation points. The purpose means it's easy to get the air in and it spreads to where you want it to, but you've got several deflation points so you can actually let the air out easily as well. We do notorious amounts of pitching and packing videos, and we've done one on the Ace just to show you how quick and easy it is. I mean, the whole thing you can more than happily do within 10 minutes, and it's one person, myself, on my own doing it. So it justifies on how simple it can be, and certainly the beautifulness of the awning itself. Kampa use their own Pro fabric, so it's 300 denier thick, very waterproof, and it's something they ran with for many years because it's one of those things, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that same actually sort of thing can be said with the awning. They've only made sort of quite a few tweaks, but it's mostly internal, so it's things you wouldn't necessarily notice from the outside. Outside optional extras you can look at. They do an Annex which can be put on either side. Currently we've got the inflatable Annex on the right hand side. They do a pole version as well which fits, so again, if you don't necessarily want to thread one pole through, you can go for the inflatable model. So Annex can go on each side, comes with it in a bedroom, but we can have a look at that when we go inside in a minute. One thing they also do as well is a glorious sun wing. So it's a big, nice, almost like tarp type thing, which actually clips onto 1, 2, 3, 4 points along the front. And the joys of it, it actually gives you a lovely bit of shelter and shade underneath here. Admittedly, it's more meant to be used in sort of more feather weather. So if it's sort of windy, I wouldn't recommend having it out completely, but it's a great addition to put onto your Ace. And certainly Aces from 2016 onto 2017, you can still use that feature. So like I said, you have different sizes. You've got a 300, 400 and 500, all have available sun wings that you can put on front of it. So it doesn't matter what size your caravan is, you can get a beautiful, glorious awning and the extras as well. The panels on the front as well as the side can completely zip out, so the joys of that is that you can have it as almost like a big open conservatory. But again, you've got the ability to put storm straps on the side as well as obviously guy ropes at the front. So it's really well thought out, and you can certainly see why it's Europe's best awning for the 2016 season. So we'll take a little look inside and talk through a few more features. So now we're inside the Ace. First thing you can see is the beautiful panoramic front windows. Clear PVC they use, so you brilliant lighting, so it feels really nice, light and vibrant in here and quite airy. You've got a separate panel along the top as well, yet again to carry on that light. The joys of the panels is they can actually be zipped completely in or completely out, so you can have it like a big nice gazebo. There are some sort of quite fundamental differences for the 2017 season in comparison to 2016, so they've made some quite drastic improvements. Normally you sort of one of the things you say, if it's not broke, don't fix it, but they seem to somehow improve it further, which is a brilliant sort of thing. First thing to note is that the curtain retainer is now a button type clip. So just a standard push on button. For me, great thing. It just, that little plastic thing they had before was not brilliant. So much more simple, and it's something that's, yet again, a small little change, but makes a difference. You still get things like the sort of retainer. So the purpose of it, you can actually keep the curtain flat against the panel when you want to put it up and get your privacy. You've still got things like the Velcro tabs for the Saberlight. Joys of this, yet again, obviously, it means you can actually give yourself a really good lighting system, because sometimes the one they put on the caravan isn't that brilliant. So a Saberlight kit, you can add one starters, a couple of add-ons, really makes it nice and light and bright in here. Joys of it as well is you can alter the brightness of it, so you can actually have it sort of down to 80, 50% if you don't want to make it seem like a massive disco ball. you know, in the middle of the night on the campsite. One thing to make sure in terms of a change as well, they've put a slight Velcro parts here. Now that's actually just to help sit the panel closer to the main body of the awning. Just a small tweak, but like I said, makes a difference. A major change for the 2017 season is there's a second zip actually on the panel itself here. So 1, 2, 3, the 3 front panels have this second zip which allows you to zip a brand new mesh panel into it. Joys of that is you could actually, the panel that comes supplied, have that done halfway, keep the mesh, sort of buy the mesh panel, put it in, you get good circulation of air, but you don't have to worry about the bugs, the little critters coming in. So it's a really great concept. So you can actually take all the panels out, put all the mesh ones in, tons of air coming through, but don't have to compromise with having sort of all the critters in as well. For that note, if you have got a 2016 model, so something, or a 2015 probably for that matter, you could in theory buy this panel, put it in your race, and the joys of it means is you can still benefit from having the circulation. The only thing is you would have to choose whether to have the mesh panel in or the main panel in, because you've only got one zip. So really what you need to make sure is when you unzip it, you zip the panel into it, so you can't have both. So still an option to think about if you've currently got an Ace, but not really one sort of going forward. Is a great addition yet again to have. One thing that Kampa have done which really quite changes the way you make sure the draft doesn't come in is they've got something called limpets. So the purpose of it is actually like a sucker, but it's got a screw thread to it. So as you screw the thread in, it sucks in tighter. So what Kampa have now done is on this sort of back part which sits next to the caravan, is they've got little holes. So limpets basically go through the holes, you then screw it onto your caravan, and it basically suckers this part straight against it. Basically it means it's trying to get a tighter fit to the caravan. You can actually bespoke it to your own need as well. So you can actually buy these limpets separately. They come in about a pack of 8. And the joys of it means if you've currently got any, regardless of what awning you've got, it might not even be a Kampa model, but in years gone by, any model you like, you can then create a much more secure way of stopping the draft coming down. You still would use the back poles, in my opinion, just to make sure it's nice and firm, but this extra bit of assurance, these limpets, great feature, and it's something that's actually only exclusive to Kampa, so they're patent patenting it currently. Behind you can see you've got the Annex option. Comes with a 2-berth inner bedroom, so you can choose to have it in or out. Like I said, on the outside you do a poled model and inflatable model. The poled isn't very much longer to put up, to be fair, but it's just that obviously a little bit quick of ease with the inflatable. So 2-berth bedroom, sleep in there more than happily. You've got, you choose to have it on both sides if you want to. So you wanted to have the ability to sleep 4 people, 2 each side, nice and versatile, sleep with grandkids, and you're pretty much away. Other optional extras to consider about, they do loads of things like a hanging rail. So it's a little thing that goes into their special accessory track at the top here, which you can hang coats on. You've also got the storage pockets that come down here, also off the accessory rail. The small little things like that. There are an accessory video that we do, so it's a good thing to bear in mind and have a look at that. One thing that also bear in mind is you can buy what we call a roof liner. So it's a really nice thing that goes in there, helps with condensation, gives you an extra layer, keeps it nice and warm, and also cooling there, 'cause it sort of tends to give it like a double glazing effect, but mostly it's condensation based, but it also ties up a little bit, makes it look a bit neater, and certainly when you're sitting in here and you're looking out upon a beautiful view, you don't want to see sort of taps and things like that in your face. So you can yet again see the taps here. So this what actually allows it to be a 1-point inflation. So you obviously 1-point inflation, which is just here, and you can pump it up and it spreads through these little hoses in taps all across here. So you've got numerous different isolation valves. So what you do is when you pump it up, so when you pump at full pressure, come inside, all you do is turn the taps and it just sanctions off all of the air and keeps it all separate. So it means each beam is now individual. So if, God forbid, if you did have a puncture, it's very unlikely, but things can happen. It means it's just in that one single section. So you don't need to worry about the whole awning going down if something goes wrong. And because it's in that one section, you can more than happily zip it out, pull it out, repair it like a bike tyre, so take the inner bladder, put a patch on it if need be, or alternatively these separate parts are available from stockists like ourselves, and Kampa do that as well. So it's the aftercare service is very well thought out as well with Kampa. Beneath me they've actually changed the carpet for 2017, so the colour is still is completely different. It's a really nice sort of couple of tone grey carpet, which personally I feel is a bit more of an improvement. I really do like it. Whereas comparison, the old one was sort of a bit darker, so that's what helps to make it feel a little bit lighter in here as well, that new carpet. You can also go for what they call the easy tread, which is a more classic style of thing. So it's like a bristle type carpet, woven, where in comparison to this lovely cushioned carpet. But it's really sort of your own personal preference which you prefer to go for. But that's a bit more of an insight into the Kampa Ace. Like I said, you can get the 3, 4 and 500. It's certainly a model we stock for us here at Attwoolls for the 2017 season, and it's something that, yeah, again, has got tons of legs, and it's certainly a major model to consider if you are looking at buying an awning. Normally it's one thing we have in our indoor display room, so you're more than welcome to pop into us and see it in the flesh, and it's well worth it. So in essence, that is the Kampa Ace Air range, the 300, 400 and 500.